The other game that I've been spending most of my time with, in fact, I am kind of suffering from a video game hangover today. I got my hooks into Dragon Age 2, which came out about a week ago, last Tuesday. And I gotta say, there was a few things I heard about the game when it first came out that kind of had me approaching it with a little trepidation. I wasn't sure I was gonna like it as much as the first, because there were certain I'm not gonna spoil things here, but the game takes place in a city state, whereas the first game took place across an entire country. So I was afraid that perhaps some of the epic exploration aspects of the first game were going to be lost in the sequel. Because for those of you who don't know, Dragon Age 1 had about 6 or 7 years of development, which is like a massively long time. And the game was just absolutely huge. It took me about 60 hours to get through it on my playthroughs. And the sequel came out about 18 to 20 months after the first one came out. So I don't know how BioWare was able to churn this game out. And I was really afraid that, excuse me, that the game was going to lose a little bit of what made the first game so special. But after spending about 25 hours with Dragon Age 2, I think I might actually like it a little bit more than the first one, which was
wow.
wholly unexpected.
That's surprising, because I've heard a lot of sort of lukewarm reactions to this one. And I know you're a tremendous fan of the first one, so that's cool.
Well, see, here's the thing. The first one is basically a spiritual successor to the Baldur's Gate series, I think. I think that's the one. So it plays really, really well on the PC. And I think BioWare had outsourced the console ports to a third party. And so, DJ, I know that you had some complaints about the combat. It was kind of clunky in the console version. Like, it just kind of turned you off.
It really, the interface really felt like it was designed for a PC. It was really awkward and sort of overwhelming.
And I mean, I was able to get through that, but obviously, I mean, it was just kind of a roadblock for you. But apparently, BioWare,
well, among other things, but yeah,
okay. But apparently, BioWare had it seems very obvious that they designed the sequel with consoles in mind first. The game is fast, whereas I would never use that to describe the first one. Like this sequel, it's like just balls to the wall. And the action in the battles is just incredible. And it still requires a little bit of a tactical play, but on like the normal setting, you can get through it just playing it, on a whim. You don't have to be too fussy about positioning your party members and stuff around the battlefield. But it's just a vast improvement over the first one in terms of gameplay for the battle system. But what I find probably the most surprising thing, one thing I kind of didn't like about Mass Effect 2, and you guys know that I'm a huge fan of that game.
I don't know if we've gone over that before.
But I felt the cast in Mass Effect 2 was just a little bit too big and not as fleshed out as perhaps the first one.
Totally,
and
yeah.
You agree, yeah. I mean, there's just some kind of they almost feel like throwaway characters, like they weren't fully fleshed out.
Well, it's funny because I felt like most of them were pretty interesting, and I was surprised that they were able to still accomplish that when they had 10 or 12 characters.
Yeah,
but still, there was a lot to try and incorporate.
In fact, I think Mass Effect 2 may have been better off if they just cut the cast down to maybe 8 max or something like that, and maybe you could spend more time with those party members and whatnot. Yeah. But that's what they did in Dragon Age 2. You only have about 7 characters in total, and they're all fully fleshed out. And I got to tell you guys, BioWare is kind of known for putting little romances in their game, where you can get involved in a romantic sort of relationship with your party members. And obviously Dragon Age 2 follows suit. And I found myself courting a couple of characters that I was kind of interested in with my protagonist. And I could not believe this is the first time I had ever played a game, and I actually felt jealousy because I was courting this one character, and she actually I think it's because I started a relationship with another character, so I kind of lost out on my chance with this one girl who I decided I wanted to go ahead and go after. And she actually there's this entire quest chain. She chose to get involved with some sort of secondary character putz dude, and I was pissed off. I'm I spent the last 5 hours being your friend, trying to get to know you, and now I'm in the friend zone with her, and I was pissed.
Is there a trophy for that?
I don't know. Maybe there is. Yeah, friend zone. You've entered the friend zone, but I mean,
it's like a trophy.
BioWare has knocked this one out of the park. This is one of the funniest games I've ever played in my entire life. I haven't laughed so hard ever while playing a game. And I haven't completed it yet, but I was really worried that the narrative would take a hit because it takes place in this one giant city-state. and that's not the case. I love this game, and I might like it more than the first one. Just incredible. And I was up till, well, I was actually up all night playing it last night. I just couldn't put it down. Love it.
You don't know how that works for you.
But that's really about all I've been playing lately.
I'd like to check that out. I mean, everybody is just constantly praising both Dragon Age 2 and the original. I want to go back and try give the original another shot, but on the PC, because I hear it's much, it's tailored to the PC and it has this different combat camera that suits the game much better. But yeah, I need to find some time for that.
Well, a lot of time. It's like 60 hours plus.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't know if I want to get into that right now. Although I have been playing a ridiculous amount of Tactics Ogre, which came out last month. I'm still playing it. I think my clock in the game is up to about 50 or 60 hours at this point.
Nice, nice.
That's a lot of fun. I'll be probably talk about that a little bit later.
Dragon Age 1, it's an epic game, but it tends to drag on a little bit, This one, the sequel, just seems to have cut out a lot of the fat. And I know a lot of people on the BioWare forums were really complaining. They were worried that it was going to turn into a Dragon Mass Effect type of thing, because they did sort of take these sort of voiced protagonist from Mass Effect and almost insert something like a spiritual successor to that into Dragon Age 2. But I think it works well. The main character of Hawk is very enjoyable. He's excellent, or she. I mean, it's excellent. I love it. So people may have been complaining, but I think it's all for naught. You just got to give it a chance, People get so stuck in their ways, they don't want things to change. But I mean, I was kind of like that a little bit too, but this game has won me over. Love it.